Eric Chung, there's Manuel Agostner, another driver that's going to be affected by that time penalty, who James Whalen is chasing down right now. So Manuel Agostner, James Whalen, and then Vladimir Haladik with a rich vein of form now, trying to come back at James Whalen, having already got past von Skeltermar. This is the battle for P4 in the Shell drivers. And James Whalen taking a look at the inside of Manuel Agostner. If everything stayed the way it is at the moment, this would change the Shell standings in the race to Kirschmayor P1, Eric Chung P2, Vladimir Haladik P3, and von Skeltermar P4. That's if everything stays this way for the next 4.5 minutes. Not absolutely convinced it will, because Vladimir Haladik, James Whalen's in this really difficult position where he needs to get the hurry up in terms of getting past Manuel Agostner. Otherwise, Vladimir Haladik's going to do both of them at the same time, potentially. So Whalen then tracking Manuel Agostner in the Ineco MP car, which is coloured green and black. And here comes James Whalen on the inside of Manuel Agostner now as they come uphill. And for the second time in this race, James Whalen goes around. Has really tried very, very hard to make up places, and James Whalen then for the second time of asking pirouettes that 118 car. Let's see it again. So he was tracking Manuel Agostner, and it did look like it was up the inside here. Now, is there contact between the two of them? Possibly so. James Whalen then around. And we can see from the Formula Racing garage there, of course, as the engineers look on. Now Manuel Agostner has got Vladimir Haladik for company, and Vladimir Haladik is on a real charge here. And in the final 3.5 minutes, he needs to get past Manuel Agostner to try and chase after Eric Chung, but I think the gap is too great for him to be able to do that. So Manuel then, who has, of course, has got a time penalty. But, of course, that doesn't help Vladimir Haladik at the moment because the car is still in the blooming way of him. And he can't go chasing after Eric Chung until he has got past the Manuel Agostner car. And, of course, what he's also doing is falling a little bit prey to von Skeltermar, who's coming back at him. So, very difficult situation that Vladimir Haladik finds himself in because, you know, actually he hasn't got time now to catch up with Eric Chung. And it's almost futile, really, trying to overtake Manuel Agostner. Although the only reason it's not futile is that, of course, that puts a little cushion between himself and von Skeltermar. And Skeltermar is looking very lively now. Ernst Kirschmayor, P1, looking untroubled with a 1.7-second margin over Eric Prinot, who himself, of course, has got a 25-second time penalty to come. We have just over 2 minutes of the race remaining. So there is Eric Chung, who's kind of out on his own at the moment. So Eric Chung for Formula Racing. What a gamble it was right at the start of the race. And there's Eric's wife, Corinna, on the right-hand side. Francesca to the left-hand side from Formula Racing. And there is Eric Chung. And there is that big, big lineup behind Manuel Agostner of Vladimir Haladik. And von Skeltermar, in my opinion, is going to try and have a go at Vladimir Haladik before the end of this race. Now, as they cross the timing line now, we are on to the last lap, so they have one more lap. Vladimir Haladik has one more lap to hold on to that position he's got over von Skeltermar. As I say, getting past Manuel Agostner, whilst in one regard is utterly unnecessary, where it is necessary, of course, is that it gives him that safety net between himself and von Skeltermar. So there is Skeltermar with the shark's teeth hunting the Vladimir Haladik car. Here's James Whalen recovering from his second pirouette of the day in car number 118. The American racer, great to see him back on the European track once again. Very much hoping that he'll be joining us in Barcelona in September. For Ernst Kirschmayor, though, and for Aggie Smolka, who is still in the P2 position in the AMS. And in fairness, I don't think Dusan Palkra, he can throw everything out here as Ingvar Madsen is coming back at him. So Dusan Palkra and Ingvar Madsen, who are battling over the final podium place in the AM standings. Now, there is the 117 Dusan Palkra car, and here comes Ingvar Madsen. Now, is it beginning to rain once again, which is playing into the hands of Agata Smolka, who we know is on the wet weather tyres, and also, critically, to Ingvar Madsen, who is battling with this driver, Dusan Palkra. Here's Ernst Kirschmayor then. Oh, and Ernst Kirschmayor gets it wrong as the grip level begins to reduce. Thankfully, he's got enough time in hand as he climbs uphill. Eric Prinot has gone. He'd already got a 25-second time penalty, but he pirouettes all over the track, makes contact with the barriers, brings all sorts of gravel and grit onto the circuit. So, real drama in the closing stages of this race as the rain begins to come down again. Here comes Ernst Kirschmayor. He is going to be untroubled. He does take the checkered flag. Now, bear in mind, wherever Eric Prinot appears, he's got another time penalty. And here is Eric Prinot with the damaged car, but Manuela Gosner, who's also got a time penalty. Von Skeltermar didn't manage to get past Vladimir Hladek. Eric Prinot is got all sorts of mechanical problems on the car. Now, is Alexander Nussbaumer going to be the first of the AM drivers, as Eric Prinot's car is severely damaged, as you can see, following the contact with the barriers. We are waiting Alexander Nussbaumer to cross the timing line. He's going to be okay as he tiptoes through turn number 15 to hold on to that P1 place in the AMs. Now, Agi Smolka and Dusan Palkra. It's going to be Agata Smolka ahead of Dusan Palkra. I think here comes Corinna Gosner herself in the Shell drivers. She's also having to tiptoe past. Because the rain coming down now has really changed the track conditions in the closing stages of this race. So as we watch Corinna Gosner, we wait a long, long time before Agi Smolka then, in car number 186, will equal her best finish by taking a P2. And can Ingvar Madsen get past Dusan Palkra? The answer is no. So what drama at the end of the race. As across comes Tommy Lindroth now. And this is Murat Kuhadaroglu, another one that's really having to just tiptoe his way over the line. Per Falholt, then Rick Lovett. And then Laurent Damouz, who of course was, like James Whalen, is another one of those drivers that had pirouetted. So there we have the race completed. We await the timing screen to be adjusted with those time penalties after Henrik Kamstrup has crossed the timing line. He will be the last car running. And right, the timing screen gets adjusted now. So that means Eric Prinot actually finishes P6. Following that time penalty. So Alexander Nussbaumer is the winner in AMS, and the winner in the Shell is Ernst Kirschmayor. Whew, what a race. So P1 for car number 109, Ernst Kirschmayor, his first win in the Ferrari Challenge. P2 is Eric Chung in car number 198. P3 is Vladimir Hladek. So a good last race for the, well, this is the Eric Prinot incident. Look, he just lost the back end of the car and then high speed spin. And look at it from this angle. Wow. And carrying a lot of speed and making contact side on with the barriers there. And that almost pushed the car back out onto the track. But look at that. It's crabbing like a four-wheel steer machine, isn't it, as he tries to make his way across the finish line. And there you can see the reaction from the Formula Racing team. So Philip Barron down there congratulating his drivers, and all Austrian on the top steps of the podium. So top three in each category: Ernst Kirschmayor, Eric Chung, Vladimir Hladek in the Shell.